about community advocate, marketing strategist, business development professional, but in transparency purposes, I'm also a domestic violence advocate for the past 10 years, but I'm not here to talk about domestic violence today. Seyi reached out to me to Singles and Marriage Summit, so I'm like, how can I do that? So talk about your marriage. You've been married for 16 years. I've been married for 16 years. I've known my wife for 18. So this is my first time talking about marriage, actually. Usually when I started the domestic violence advocacy 10 years ago, I usually get, women and currently in marriages, they reach to me through my inbox, and I'll give them resources, lawyers, etc. So that's how it started. But today, I'm going to talk about marriage. I met my wife in 2001. When I met her, a friend of mine, his wife, was doing a surprise birthday party for him. So me and a convoy, we went out, we hung out. That's when I met my wife. She was at the party with one of her cousins. Back then, when they didn't have phones, the kind of phones that we have now, so she wrote her number on a piece of paper, so I contacted her later. She lived in New York. So, New York, long distance relationship, okay? So that means you have to have some kind of commitment. So when I thought about coming here today to speak about marriage, and my, marriage, and why is my marriage, what made me, say, how come you've been married for 16 or 18 years? I see you on Facebook, you're so crazy. How managed? What's going on? So what I did today, I passed out a paper, it's called the 5 C's. Okay, I hope everybody has a copy. If you don't have a copy, they'll give you one. The 5 C's is commitment, compromise, caring, companionship, and communication. The 5 C's are the foundation. That's what makes my marriage work. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So I think it's very important that no matter the person you meet, no matter what situation you're going through, you got to have those 5 C's in there. So let's talk about commitment. So not everybody is crazy about having a long distance relationship. She was in New York, I was in DC. Guess what? We made it work. I went up to New York on the weekends, sometimes drove, rented a car, caught the bus. She came down as well for 2 years. We got married in 2003. I proposed and we got married. I met her family. She met my family members, and we started dating. Another thing that's important is companionship. So you gotta want to date. I don't see too many people doing that these days. Everybody's just Netflix and chill. You have to date that person. You have to get to know that person. Remember, you're meeting a stranger. You might like them physically, or I like them. Okay, they have a nice house, they have a nice car, they have a degree, or whatever. But you want to be able to date that person, go out with that person, and learn that person. That person is a stranger. They don't know who you are. You don't know them. And then, of course, everybody has this preconceived notion of what a husband or what a wife should be, but nobody's perfect. So you want to get to know that person as much as possible. So we're on the phone. They didn't have FaceTime in those days, so we're on the phone all the time, every day. What did you do when you were a little girl? Where did you go to school? What do you like to eat? What colors? What kind of movies you like to watch? Tell me some of your childhood experiences. We went to the movies, we walked in the park. You want to be able to do things with that person. So that's what we did for 2 years. And another C is that's the companionship part of the C. You want to know the likes and dislikes, what you have in common, find those things in common. Now, when it comes to caring, you have to, see, the thing about relationships is it takes time getting to know someone. Okay, so let me say this. So before I married my wife, I already met 3 or 4 people that I thought I was going to marry. You're always going to run into, this person could be my husband. You have to take the time, either in Nigeria or in London, you have to take the time to get to know that person. You're going to look for the positives, but you also have to keep an eye out for the negatives. A lot of times we make the mistake of, okay, I'm not going to worry about this. He'll change, he'll change, he'll get better, whatever. So we see the red flag, but we want to ignore the red flag because we want to settle down, want to get married. I met 3 people, 2 or 3 people that I thought I was going to get married to. But after a period of time, I figured out, you know what, this is not going to work. I won't be able to live with this. We have to be able to be honest with ourselves. when we meet someone. Communication, a lot of times when you talk about communication in marriage or communication in relationships, period, we always think about talking. There's a lot of listening going on. I want to say this also before I continue. Single doesn't mean single that never, single could be someone that's separated, someone that's divorced, you know what I mean, or a single mother. So that's what this, everything is about. So when we say single, not just mean the young kids, you know, going to the clubs, whatever. We're talking about anybody that's single, okay? So when it came to commitment and remembering your, like I said, remembering your vows when you get married, but what happens is you're going to go through challenges, you're going to go through issues, you're going to go through trials and tribulations most of the time when you're married or when you're in a relationship. Because this is someone you don't know, this is someone you're trying to get to know, this is someone you're thinking about settling down with. You just have to talk, you have to communicate. That's why the 5 C's are important. You have to have that, first of all, you have to be committed. So you know what? No matter what happens, we're going to try and make it. As long as there's no physical abuse, we're going to try and make it work. You're going to have to compromise. Compromise meaning even though you know you're right, and you know, you just try and work, just meet some kind of common ground with that person. See how we can work this out. We can't keep, no, I'm not going to do it, no, that's not, you know, just find a way to work it out. Caring is very important. You have to learn how to care for that person. Okay, caring for that person in the sense that you care about their well-being. The way you don't eat, I've eaten, you know, help them do whatever. Okay, you're going to school. Okay, I can watch the baby while you go to the other room and study. You know, you want to generally have that caring feeling for that person. But let me give you an example of a commitment. Because I think a lot of people don't, that commitment is missing in a lot of relationships. There's this soccer team, Arsenal. How many of you know Arsenal soccer team? Okay, there you go, Arsenal, okay. You know how men love their soccer. So Arsenal has not won a title as long as they've been married, 16 years. Arsenal has not won a title, but guess what? These guys are very committed to that team. No matter what happens, they fail every year, but guess what? They say, I love Arsenal. Arsenal till I die. We have to love our women that way. We have to be as committed to our soccer clubs, to our BFF, as much as we committed to sports teams. Think about it. No matter what happens to that team, or Chelsea, no matter what happens, the man is like, that's my team, I don't care. Do or die, we're dead, no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw. That's commitment. We don't have that kind of commitment in marriages anymore. So I want to say this. Always remember that you are not perfect. So we can meet someone, we have a long laundry list of some of the things that we think we want that person to be. You know, of course we want them to have a job, we want them to have some kind of education, maybe a house, maybe a car. You know, but no one is perfect. There might be some things about them that, you know what, you can live with, you can't live with. So I remember when I was dating, I was always finding something wrong. I like this girl, she's fine, she's this, she's that, but she does this, she does that. So that relationship's got that. Okay, I like this one, this, that. That relationship's got. So my friend, the best man who became the best man in ways I heard about, you need to go to God, you need to pray. You need to find that one bond. You can find someone that reminds you of maybe your mother, someone that's caring for you. That's what happens. To find somebody that he told me about his experience. Find someone that reminds you of a woman. Find someone that reminds you of your dad. Someone that reminds you of your mom. Someone that actually cares about you, who cares for you. Because guess what? A lot of the divorces today, those guys, they have nice houses, they have nice cars, they have money. Guess what? They still get divorced. All those things will not stop you from getting divorced. So what keeps me together? What keeps us together? Those 5 C's that I passed out. You gotta have commitment. You gotta be able to compromise. You have to be able to care. Companionship. Without companionship, I don't know. Companionship is being able to. When they say BFF, some of the things that you tell your girlfriend or your guys. You know, you want to be able to hang out with that person. You want to be able to go places. You want to be able to do those things that you normally do with the guys. do those things you normally do with the girls. Companionship means going to the movies together, going on walks, going to the mall, or just going for a walk. We have to be companions with our spouse and make, being able to also forgive them when they make mistakes. Another thing that we did, we prayed together. Everything we do together. We prayed together, laugh together, you cry together, travel together, hang out together. Companionship is very important. I don't think there's that much of companionship anymore in relationships. Standing strong together against all odds. It's good to have trusted friends and trusted elders when things get a little shaky. Now, we all have friends, but it's not every friend you can go to and tell your business to. You gotta have at least one or two people that you can maybe sit down with that actually care about you. And sit down together. Like the people who go to see their pastor, I say women, so they go to see their pastor about problems in their marriage. You shouldn't go alone. Your husband should be able to go with you. You should be able to go to see the elders. You should be able to call Seyi or call me, be able to talk to somebody you can trust about your issues. So most of the phone calls I get is usually from women who are having abuse. And I wish men would call me. They say, "Hi, Baba, you don't care about the men. You're always talking about women and domestic violence. You don't care about the men. Men, guys, please call me. I'm telling you, please call me. I'm here for you. The same resources for them I can give you." But what happens is you have to be able to do things together in order for it to work. And beware of negative influence and bad advice from people who you think are your friends and family who care about you. A lot of times they don't really want to see you together, but they'll give you bad advice just to pretend as if they care about you, but they really don't. And sometimes you have to be able to stand strong and customize your marriage. Let me tell you what I mean by customize your marriage. Just like she said, she was looking at the other lady whose husband bought her a house, bought her a car. There's no one-size-fits-all marriage. Your marriage cannot be like your friend's marriage. Okay, maybe he can't buy your house right now, maybe he'll buy you one in the future, or maybe he's not able to do certain things for you right now. Or maybe that ring, I keep hearing about men who propose to women and women turn them down because of the ring. Really? Really? That ring is not going to save your marriage. Spending thousands and thousands of dollars on, there's nothing wrong with having a fantastic wedding. I had a big wedding. But we need to spend some of that energy on the actual marriage. Spending millions of dollars on a wedding in Dubai, that's great. But what about the marriage? 2 years down the road, you're done. So because you get tired, because you realize, okay, the Mercedes is nice, but he smacked me in the face the other day. I don't need to be in this. You know what I mean? That's just an extreme example. But I think we have to customize our marriage and try not to be with the Joneses. So my advice is this: The Centuries of Marriage by Joshua Becker is love, humility, being able to say I'm sorry. Guys, we got to be able to say I'm sorry. But ladies too, at some point we got to be able to say sorry. Let's just bring peace. Let's work it out. Pray over it. You have to have patience and forgiveness. Patience and forgiveness and time. Time is very important in a relationship. Don't expect people to change overnight. Sometimes people do change. Sometimes people do change certain behaviors. Guess what? I had to stop smoking. So you have to be able to, like when I met my wife, I used to smoke once in a while. And after a while, she said she didn't like it. Which one? I've been doing this all this time like this. I meet you. What is this? But I said, you know what? I want this thing to work. You got to make sacrifices so that that marriage can work, or that relationship can work. Both sides, not just one person making sacrifices. Sometimes the man is out there working. He will sacrifice working all day long just so you can go to school. That's sacrifice. You go to nursing school, wherever you get your degree. That's sacrifice. You bring your money. He's still driving a cab. You're making more money. Does it really matter? The money is going to their house. So a lot of times people are separating because of money. I'm like, why? You're supposed to be a team. You're supposed to be one unit. Stop looking at what other people are doing. Oh, her husband does this. If you make more money than your husband, why can't you marry? I know people right now Their wives make more money. They've been married for over 20 years. No problem. Work it out. You guys gotta work it out. There's too much emphasis on this stuff that people, and a lot of people that give advice on Facebook, most of them, the reason why I don't get in those conversations, most of the people are not married, but they're giving advice. Work it out. Work it out. You have a family. You're a team. Work it out. It doesn't matter. She makes money. He makes more money. Come together. Put that money and raise your family. Raise your family. So a few more things. There's so much more to relationships. Sometimes they don't always work out. It's okay. Move on. Move on. If it doesn't work out, move on. Okay? Like I said, I dated 3, 4 people before I met my wife. I've been married for 16 years. Move on. If it doesn't work out, move on. Don't give up. Make sure that you make yourself available. Those of you who are single, still looking, make yourself available to attend events or go to places where somebody can find you. So a lot of times they say, they tell African women, go and find out, go and find out. No, just make yourself available. Take care of yourself, and He will find you.
Come on.
Yeah. So to me, it doesn't matter what I don't know. God might be sending somebody from a different race or a different tribe. For me, I know some people are hung up on that, but for me, love, it doesn't matter. If he's white, if he's black, if he's Jamaican, Ghana, whatever. You don't know, God might be sending you somebody. You don't know, because sometimes we pray for a husband, pray for a wife. God is sending you somebody, but you reject that person because he doesn't meet your list. He doesn't meet your list. That happens. Like I said, love is the key. Money, big house, cars, investments have not prevented people from getting divorced. So you have to spend time with that person. Like I said, if it's not working out, if you're in a relationship or marriage, if it's not working out, take a break, leave. Maybe that person wasn't meant for you.